Perfect. So we're recording. And my name is Sharon Whiteman, and I host this call weekly with Diana Hunter, who you might have just seen, and Gary Knapp. And we love doing this. We love being here. We love blessing you guys, but we're equally blessed by the education and the comradeship, the community, and the inspiration that we receive weekly. And today is no exception. I'm so grateful to Naomi. She's a master in a lot of topics, but in this topic, in assisting people and coaching people to present Manitech through your own unique self, because you're all special. They're all really special, aren't they, Naomi? And
yeah.
And we're going to trial something today, is that we're going to try and support two people live in determining a way forward with a special branding for them, unique to them. So we might have room in the second half of the call for one more. So if you're feeling brave, just message me and we'll see if we can fit in a third. So I'd like to say that Naomi started her business with Manitech over 8 years ago now. Her background was in teaching, and she also had a traditional retail business. Naomi is a mom to 3 beautiful teenage children who are a big reason why she's building this business. She went from struggling to make ends meet and going further into debt into an international business and traveling the world. The products have changed her life too. One of her favorite things to do is travel to new destinations and experience the cultures there. Naomi is a multi-award winner, one of Manitech Malaysia's top business success coaches, and she's well known for her marketing prowess. If you haven't taken on Naomi's advice on your personal branding to date, you're missing a real key opportunity to be the best you can be in your partnership with Manitech. And, our goal for today, and I know Naomi's on board with this as well, is to make sure that we demonstrate how to do it so you can go out and help yourself, your teams. We might try and fit another call in before the end of the year, because I got a feeling people will want this, but we'll see on Naomi's schedule. But Naomi, thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much, Sharon and Diana. It's such a pleasure to be on the call, and we're all so grateful for what you do for the Manitech community. So we are blessed, and I know how much goes into this call and organising it. So yeah, thank you so much for that.
Okay, perfect. So I'm going to go off camera.
I'm excited.
Are you? I'm excited too. I'm going to take notes and learn. So I'll be off camera, but I'll be right here.
So I guess, branding is my little baby in a way, and it's something that I learnt when I had my traditional shops, which is the Oshkosh shops. I learned a lot about branding there. And if anyone knows Oshkosh, you know that they are, put your hand up or comment, do you remember Oshkosh? Anyone remember Oshkosh Bigosh? I mean, it's still around. But back in the 90s, it was the big thing. And everything was branded with their logo. So, you could get underwear, you could get umbrellas. Everything had a brand. Quality. There you go. Everybody knew Oshkosh was quality. But it went far beyond that. It went to how we greeted the customer. It went to how we greeted the children. It went to even how we handed the bag to the customer once they had purchased the product. So we actually went around. We would stand there. If it was to the child, we'd get down on their level. So it was far beyond just that logo. It was actually the emotion that people felt when they came into the shop. It was, what kind of feel could we create for them? How did we want them to respond when they came in the shop? And so we had balloons, we had fun music. It was very upbeat when they would come in. So all of those things were the brand. How we looked, what we said, all of that came into the brand. And so when I came into Manitech, it kind of like, well, I've become the brand, and personal branding became more prominent in my thoughts when I started with Manitech. And, also branding of, different avenues of that. But today's more about personal branding for yourself, because that's where it all starts. And today's, I had no personal brand. I mean, I had created something, but not something that was very specific. and intentional. And so what I wanted to take you through is how to create something quite intentional today, and then we're going to go through those examples. So I'll just share my screen here. And okay, so this is a very interactive kind of call, so I don't want you just sitting there and, you know, going to sleep or whatever. So today's all about personal branding, and with me, my name is Naomi Joy. So you might see that more. So I'm more encompassing the name Naomi Joy. Have decided this week that that will encompass everything about me. So my brand will more be about Naomi Joy. So if you see things, it will most likely be around that area. But what I wanted to ask you, and this is just a little exercise, when you look at this photo, just the photo, I don't want you thinking about what you've heard about me, what you've seen, what you know about me. Just this photo, can you tell me something about my personal brand? Open up the chat there. Sleep. International class, loves to travel. Yep, great. What else? Come on, guys. Travel. Yep. Elegant. Yep. Fun, classy, inviting, professional, beauty. Great. So can you see exciting, style, quality, travel, French? Yep. Classy. Awesome. So can you see how just a photo can really, it tells a story, and that story is very, very important. So every photo that you use on social media tells that story. Okay, so really think about that. That's the first thing I want you to think about. What's that story? Now, for those that know me a little bit more, you might have seen me, you might have been at, you know, we might be even friends. Can you tell me a little bit more about what you think my personal brand is? Anyone? Inspire women's health, yep. Yep, great. Absolutely. Because that's something that's really important to me, women's health, success, yeah, absolutely. So leader, great. So, you know, I wanted you to see that in a photo you can tell a lot, but in everything that you do and everything that you come across, you're always displaying your personal brand. So you can either just let it happen, or you can become quite intentional. My sound quality is, what I might do is stop my video. That might help with the bandwidth. I do have my phone back. Sound okay here? Oh, okay, great. So it might be someone else. So I'm just going to turn off that chat now. And I do apologise, the branding of this particular presentation is very feminine. I have done that intentionally because we're going to be working with women, but men, don't turn off. This is very valid for you as well. So just understand that the branding of this particular presentation is a little bit feminine. So what is a personal brand? Really, it's how you promote yourself to the world. Now, this can be online and offline, so it's both things really working together. Online, you can create a brand a lot easier because offline, you know, you've got to go into quite a lot of detail for people to really pick that up. So what it really is how you tell your story. And your story is very unique, and that's why you can never look at somebody else's personal brand and you know, copy that, because it's very unique to them. It's almost like a fingerprint. It's so unique to that person because we're all so different. You can definitely get inspiration from other people, but you have to find your own personal brand. And why do we have that? Well, it's so important that we show the world professionally who we are. You know, more and more it's becoming so important because of social media, because of the internet, that we create our personal brand on purpose, that story that we want to tell the world about ourselves. And within that, it's not always about us. It's actually about helping people see their own self within our story as well, and inspiring other people. Now, remember this, people buy you. Okay, so Manatech is the most wonderful vehicle that we have to really give people health, hope, purpose, wealth, and freedom and lifestyle, but it's not your brand. Just understand that. Manatech isn't your brand. It's something that you promote, but people buy you. They really do. They buy you. And we all know this. People do business with people they know, like, and trust and value. So the more that you can bring that across in everything that you do, the more that people are going to actually do business with you. And you don't have to be this person or that person. You can be yourself. So I'm going to have a little bit of fun. I like to do this. And emojis are very, very powerful. You might think they're just a little fun thing, but emojis tell a lot of story. And Ty Tran, millennial branding expert, so that's one of my branding things, I can't speak, in his TED Talk, asked the audience, if you were to define your brand in 7 emojis, what would they be? So have a look in your phone and just go to, like you're going to send somebody a message, and put in the chat what kind of emojis are frequently used by you. These are some of my frequently used ones, but I want to see what are your frequently used emojis? Heart and flowers, great. Awesome. Love hearts, laughing. So do those sort of things describe you? Are they things that you, because that's what you use. Leo, smiling, awesome. Well, I don't know, crying, hooray. Love hearts, flowers, smiling. Christy, she's got the plane, she's got a bit of, was that margarita? Cocktail there. I love that one when you got the head slap, that's hilarious. Smile, flower, lovey eyes. Yeah, awesome. So these just, you know, it's a little fun thing that you can have a look, praying, or thank you, yep, awesome. So it's a little fun thing that you can go, right, so these are the sort of things that describe me. And, you know, these things here, these were my frequently used ones, and it kind of describes me in all that it is. You know, health is so important to me, rising, you know, I've got the crowns and things like that. Got the dancing person because I love a little bit of fun. So all of those things describe who you are, and I would encourage you on the little bio section to include one, but you don't have to have 50 million. I think that's overdone. But one emoji just to show people, it tells a lot. It tells a lot about your brand and who you are. So that's just a little bit of a fun thing. By the way, I'm just going to do something really quickly. Got my video back on again. I wanted to show you, and this is kind of tells a little bit of my story. So I've got, you know, I've got a nice dress, top on, but then I've got my pants on that I was wearing at Pilates this morning. So I'm a little bit of a combination of, you know, dressy, but then I like my health and my fitness and all of those things. So I just had a thought about that before. I was thinking it's so true that I'm, you know, kind of a little bit of everything. So let's go into this. So it's all about being your authentic self. So like I said, it's not about copying somebody. It's really about finding who you are, the essence of who you are. and really digging deep. And it's a lifelong journey, really. You never arrive at finding that. You're always evolving. Well, you should be. That should be your mission, to always evolve, to always grow, to always become better and your best self. And then think about your target market. Who are you here to serve? What sort of person are you looking at helping in this world, in guiding in this world? What's your purpose around that? Be different or unique. You don't try to, being different is great. Being unique is great because, people are going to connect with some aspect of who you are. And it's always good to see someone who's a little bit different, who's not quite the same as everybody else. Sometimes I go on Instagram and it's pretty much cookie cutter, everybody seems quite similar. But I love to see someone who's a little bit different, who's a little bit unique. And don't be afraid of self-promotion. I know this was a big thing for me. It's something I really actually struggled with initially. But I want to encourage you, be confident in who you are. Be excited about sharing who you are to the world and being okay with that. And, sometimes people might take it the wrong way and think that you're, overly confident or, just trying to promote yourself. But don't let the judgments of others impact you and your purpose. And so that's where you become really strong on who you are and what you're here to serve. And if they are judging you, that's their deal. And they're not your tribe. They're not the people that you are here to serve in the world. And so don't ever let the opinions of others hold you back on those people that are waiting for you to stand up, to shine in the world. I've had it. I've had the judgments, but I can't allow that to stop me from my purpose and from what I'm called to do in the world. And I want to encourage you in the same way. Be confident, get out there, promote yourself, but not in a look at me kind of way, in a way that, helps others rise up too. And that's what it's all about. It's not about you shining. It's about lifting others up and showing them what is possible. And we have the most wonderful vehicle to be able to do that. Then also be the expert or authority, and be taking these ladies through a few questions and things just to determine, what their strengths are. But whatever it is, be the expert or authority in that field. Really hone your skills in that area. And this is where it's so important. Invest in yourself. Always be looking at building a new skill or developing a super skill. So for me, that's something that's always on my mind. Okay, what can I do next? What can I learn next? How can I grow? How can I develop a skill? So, for me, I was looking at Facebook stories. Well, I decided that I wanted to develop that into a super skill, and I'm about to release a course on Facebook stories. So I'm always developing skills. Look at, okay, where can I develop something more, either building a new one or getting stronger in a skill that I already have. I'm also doing a wellness course with glyconutrients. So it's a 6 month, pretty intense course I've got myself into. But, it's always, I'm always looking to develop those skills to get better so that then I can bring lots of value to the community. And the best thing that you can do with what you learn, straight away teach it. Because if you're just, hoarding that up for yourself, it doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't actually cement in yourself. But it's also, you're not bringing anything to the world. And that's what it's all about. It's about bringing value to people, and whether they buy from you or not, doesn't matter. obviously none of, all of you guys, you're part of the Manatech community. I don't benefit from anything that I do with you, but I'm just bringing value to the Manatech community as a whole. And think about that, and Diana and Sharon do this all the time. They're bringing value to the community. Think about how you can bring value to the world. And when you do that, people will want to do business with you. The other thing is focus on emotion and storytelling. And, I have to, the other day I put up a post, and it was quite a vulnerable post. It shared, it opened up things, and I had a lot of people sort of commenting and messaging me. And it was not the easiest thing to put up because it kind of takes down the layers and it shows who I am. But I felt that it was important that I shared, because I want people to see that I'm nothing special. I had the emotions and I had the ups and downs, and I've been through some pretty big challenges the last few years. But I want to encourage people that even through that you can rise up. And so that's part of the story that I tell. I don't tell people, I don't get on there on my bad days and just blur all the negatives. I tell my story so I can help others see that there is hope, that they can rise up out of anything. And so think about that in your storytelling. Share your stories, share your ups and downs, but then share the victory, share the hope of that. So if you're going through it, it might just be something daily, like something that you find helps you daily. So finding 3 things to be grateful for, those kinds of things really encourage people and lift people up. And like I said, forget happily ever after. There's so much cookie cutter out there on Instagram and stuff where, it's all a big show. I want to encourage you that people like to know your story. They don't want to know the story of you being stuck and in a dark hole and never moving out, but they do want to know the struggle. So the dream, the struggle, and then the victory. Those are really powerful things that you can tell in your story: the dream, the struggle, and the victory. And share that. You can share those things that. Sometimes, everything's not rosy, but these are the strategies that you use. And even in your health, if you've had health challenges, those sorts of things, you can share those things with people. And then also being consistent. So be consistent online and then offline. So, if you're presenting something online and then people meet you offline and go, oh, okay, that doesn't compute, like you're using maybe photos from 10 years ago or, those sorts of things. You want to be consistent in your branding and who you are online is who you are offline. And, share that. Obviously, there's going to be some little differences because, we can't always be one thing, but be consistent in that, and then be consistent in what you're doing daily on your social media, and then offline as well. So this is where I just wanted to start for a little bit with everybody. And just think about this. So this is such an important thing for you to really, I do a lot of visualization. And what we're doing here, so I do talk about being your authentic self, but I want you also to think about being your aspirational self. And that's not being untrue or, you're still being true, you're still being authentic, but you're also being your aspirational self, who you see yourself to be. So maybe just copy down this and take some time afterwards to really close off everything, take some time, find a nice place and just think about this and visualize this. And you can do this quite regularly to help you. It's like you're bringing something into the present. So who you see in the future, you're actually bringing it into the present. So I want you to start to do a little bit of visualizing of your definition of personal success, because that's going to be different for everybody. It's not going to be the same for you or me. It's your personal success. So how would your ideal day be structured? What kinds of things are you doing on your ideal day? You know, on your perfect world, what would you be doing every single day? Where are you living? Like, think about, where would you be living in you know, on your ideal place? What's your ideal house? What does it look like? What's your view? What are you looking at? What are the rooms like? What kind of furnishings do you have in there? What are your priorities? So what kind of priorities are you putting? Is it around health? Is it around exercise? Is it around healthy eating? What are the priorities? Is it, you know, is it around the Christian values you might have, or the other values that you might have? What kind of priorities do you do? Who are the people you are around the most? So what kind of people do you want to be, you know, socializing with or working with? Particularly in this, like, who do you want to be working with? What kind of people do you want to bring on in the business? Because if we don't get clear on that, you know, we don't bring in those kinds of people, because we're just, you know, whatever, anyone can work with me. You want to bring in the people that you most want to work with. What kind of activities excite you? So what kind of things? Are you traveling the world? Are you, you know, do you like to do bowls? I don't know. Do you like to do Pilates? What kind of things? Is it horse riding? And then what mantras do you live by? So what are those things that are so important for you? So take some time today. You know, I encourage you to do this today, because sometimes we can get on with life and we forget about it. Write this out. Write that out quite clearly, so you're very clear on your aspirational self. And then a really powerful thing, and I know this is, you know, we're going off on a little bit of a tangent, but it does come back to your personal branding. Then take some time, you know, through the week, even daily, if you do this daily, just to visualize that, take some time away just to visualize these things, you will be surprised how a lot of these things start happening in your life. So this helps you get clear on what your idea of success is and how you can be living that out. So now we're going to get into the question. So has everyone got some value? What did you like so far? Maybe just comment that and let me know what you like so far about, or what you got out of just that last little bit of what I've shared so far. Anyone want to share what they learnt, or what they got out of, or what sort of stood out for you? The last little bit about visualization, yep. Blend of inspiration, yeah, and authenticity, yeah, great. Putting time to have a clear vision, yeah. Being real online, offline, yeah. Authentic self, yeah. Awesome. Aspirational self, great. Yeah, awesome, fantastic. Yeah. I love that word, because we're always aspiring to be somebody, and that's what we're really, you know, we are creating. We create our life. We do. We can either let it happen, or we can create it through purposefully doing certain things. And so you can let it happen, or you can become a co-creator. I like to say co-creator, because we're always creating with what God has called us to do. And, you know, whether it's God to you, or the universe, or source, whatever that is, but, you know, we all have a purpose. And so we're all co-creators. But then those things that are in our heart, that are planted deep within our heart, that they're there for a reason. And so we have to just let that spring forth, because I think many of us have actually pushed those things down. We've pushed them down, life experiences, things that we've gone to. We push those dreams down. We push our purpose down. And I want to encourage you to let that spring forth, to take that time to let it, like those seeds that are in there, water them. Let them spring forth. Don't keep pushing them down and keeping them in that dark place. Let them spring forth now and connect so deeply within in your purpose and what you're here to do, because you all have that. You all have that in your heart. You all have those dreams, those things that have been planted in you from the beginning of time. And you might be, along in years. That's okay. You can still do that. You can still let those things spring forth in you. And it's like we can become quite dry in our spirit because we've pushed those things down. We've told ourselves that we're not this, we're not that. And that's why I really wanted to, and normally I would be encouraging you to do this part first. This part first, because so many times we tell ourselves all the things that we're not. We tell ourselves that, we're not good enough, we can't do things. But when we go into that place of listening to our spirit and really connecting to who we are and those dreams that are planted in us for a purpose, then we can really come into that strength and those things that are our destiny, because you're all here for a purpose. We are all here for a purpose. And this is far more, personal branding can be quite this is what I am, this is what I do, or it could go to the heart. And I want to encourage you, that's what I'm encouraging you today, is let it go to the heart. Let it go deep into your heart and really go, who am I? What am I here for? What's my life purpose? What am I here to bring to the world? What am I here to serve the world with? And let it go deep into your heart. Don't stay up in your head, because that's not going to get you to where you want to be. Go deep into your heart, and that may take a little while. That may take turning off everything. It might take just sitting there, asking God, asking Source, whatever that is for you, and letting that just spring forth now. Water that, nurture it, grow it inside of you. So let's get into this. Let me see. I think we'll take Sue first. So, okay. Sorry, I just saw a question there. I find it the easy way thinking what I am not and writing the opposite. That's usually what I am. Yeah, good to know. Okay, hi Sue, how are you?
I'm great, thanks Naomi.
Awesome, thank you for doing this. So we're doing something a little bit different today, and I'm pretty excited, but it's always like, where are we going to go with this? So I'm going to ask you a few questions here, but not all of them. You can probably go away and do that a little bit more once you get off. And I'm not going to come to any conclusion for you. This is where you come to that conclusion yourself and you bring the answers to yourself, because only you know who you are. So the first one is, what are your passions and interests? What are you so passionate about? Firstly, what are you passionate about?
Okay, I'm passionate about personal growth. That's been in my life since I was very young. Being healthy, exercising, and hanging around, being with people that I want to be with, the people that I connect with.
Yep. Great.
Yeah, I err on the optimistic side of life. I like to inspire people, and I'm really passionate about becoming the best version of me, and I love to see that for everybody.
Great. Awesome. So when you get off, everybody, you can take a photo of these things, because this is, you need to do this, everybody needs to do this for themselves and write all this down. So it helps you clarify, it comes clear about who you are and how you want to present to the world. So what kind of interests do you have, Sue? Like, is there something that you really like doing during the week, or, you know, you don't get to sometimes, but you're really interested in it?
I live at Noosa, so I'm really, the beach is my my happy place. So
yeah, great.
yeah, when it's warm enough, when we first moved here, I used to swim every day. So I love, if I'm in the ocean, I feel refreshed, I feel alive, I feel great. If it's a cold day, just to walk on the beach or walk along the beach is something I like to do to start my day every day when I can.
Yeah.
I love reading. I read a lot. I had a real challenge with, I used to go to the gym quite a lot and do Pilates and do a lot of yoga. And I had a big health challenge a few years ago, which sort of stopped a lot of that for a while. And I've just got back into yoga recently, which I've forgotten how much I love it. Yeah, so.
Awesome. Fantastic. Okay. What do you want people to feel when they're interacting with you? What kind of feelings do you want them to be feeling?
I want them to feel happy, or yeah, real. I mean, if they're in a down place, you know, that's like, I'm there for support, obviously. Inspired.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I'm a fun-loving person.
Great.
If someone,
Lovely.
you know, if someone hasn't got any sense of humour, I probably won't be in their circle for very long. Have our times. I'm not saying be unreal, but, you know, I think a sense of humour is so important.
Great. Yeah, and that's so good, because that's, when you bring that, it does lift people, even if they're, you know, feeling depressed or whatever. It does lift people. So what's your, so just say, not dream job, but what's your dream life? Like, what, if it, like, where would you be living? I mean, you're probably, if you're at Noosa walking on beaches, it's probably that. But what would that look like for you? What would your dream life look like?
Yeah, it's funny because Ivan, my husband, and I did a mentoring course with a guy, and for a year, they were weekends every, I don't know, several through the year, and it was like, get clear on that. My dream day then was nothing like I wanted it, and I wanted to come and live in Noosa, so I've achieved that much, and I'd probably wouldn't leave here no matter, but I would like to be traveling a lot more than I do. So what's the question?
Awesome.
Just got, where would I?
Well, just, I guess, your dream day, dream life. What would that look like? And I know that's a big question, but yeah, traveling's a great thing. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
And then what would you say are your strengths or your superpowers? Like, what would you say are the things that you are very strong in?
It's funny because I often reflect on, again, I've had conventional businesses most of my life, and at one stage with a lot of staff, and I used to always get like birthday cards from staff, or when people were even leaving, like, you've inspired me to believe in myself more, and that sort of stuff. So I know that I'm really good at that. I had someone on my Manatech team, quite a bit younger than me, or a mum, and when I first met her, actually, she was working for us in a different business, and she was very insecure, blah, 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 and I had a coffee with her recently, and she said, you know, you just so changed my life, you know, and I don't know what I said or did, but I know that I can do that, and that's what I love. So I don't know how that fits into a job really, but I know it's achievable through Manatech.
Yeah, yeah. Well, your strengths tell you a lot about yourself because, and then you can build on those and add on those. So that's part of your personal branding in that as well. What do you like about yourself?
What do I like about myself? That I'm honest, that I'm real, that I'm, I was going to say never give up, like I'm and I don't want to use the word fighter, I'm trying to think of a positive word for it. When I had, can I say disease words on this thing? Probably not. when it's not a world.
A health challenge, major health challenge.
A very serious health challenge. I was told by a doctor in the beginning, the really dark side of it. And I just went, no, that's not for me, and sure, I had frightening times through, it was a year journey, but I knew I'd get through and my faith became a lot stronger. And, there was a lot of things and a lot of beautiful people to support me. A couple, Sharon and Diana, I had a lot of people around me, but I just went, when I heard his words, I went, no, that's not for me. I'm here, So I've got that. And I'm like that with everything I do. Yeah, in my work, everything. Like I'll look for a way, a solution. Yeah, that's.
So is there a word that within that kind of stands out for you? So I know you're not too keen on fighter, but I understand what you're saying there. Is there another word that might, stand out for you within that? And anyone can add to this if you can think of a different word. And that's exactly what I was thinking, Sharon. I was thinking of that word, warrior.
What did Sharon say? Warrior, yeah.
A warrior.
Sharon helped me because Sharon was so close to me right through the journey. So
yeah, that's the word I was thinking of. I wanted to see where you'd go because it's very important that you come to that. And I'm so glad because Sharon is your mentor and guide, so she would understand that. And that's the word that I would say. So I love that, courage, resilient, beautiful words. Thanks, guys. Change.
Thank you.
Yeah, so these kind of words, and that's why, we doing it with a few people actually helps because they can bring that you might not be able to see. Resilience, lovely, those words are beautiful. Write those down, Sue, because they're quite powerful for your personal branding. And this is the one that I like to use a lot, and you might have to go and ask some people that are very close to you. What words do people use to describe me? Is there somebody, I was working with someone and her husband called her brave a lot. So what words do people use to describe you? And if anyone that knows them, you can, great, fun, professional, committed. Anything from you, Sue, that like someone that's really close to you, they say a word about you a lot?
It's funny when you just said brave. Then a lot of people had said that know the journey I went through to say you're such a brave person. I mean, we've been
right.
Losing a business and all sorts of stuff, and I just I have that ability to keep going. I'll get through it. I've got through. So yeah.
Great, and a lot of those words.
Yeah, I'm very
social. Yeah,
I love people.
Wonderful. So I would encourage you. Sorry, are you married or?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So ask your husband do you have children?
Yes.
Okay. Ask your children and anyone that's listening. I'm not sure if you've got parents still, but if you do, if for others that, ask your mum, she seems to know those things, but ask them what words they would use, because sometimes you get, we can be a bit hard on ourselves, and you will get, a clearer picture of who you are. And some people are really surprised by what others say about them. They're like, oh, okay. Because that actually tells you a lot more than maybe how you see yourself. So ask those people that are close to you, and that will help you. And write those words down, because those words are going to really help you with your personal branding and what you want to be about. So sometimes we just leave things in our heads, but when we actually get them down onto paper and we actually write them out and actually ask ourselves these questions, it helps become clearer on who we are and what we're here to do. I'll just go, I wanted to ask you, actually, what did you want to be when you were a child? Can you think back that, or is there
when I was
quite
young, I wanted to be a dancer.
Ah, great. Okay.
Yeah.
What was it about dancing that you loved?
Well, I did dancing as a little kid, and then I went to calisthenics, if you know what that is. And I was actually in state teams in Western Australia and stuff like that. And I was addicted to it. I loved it more than school. But, my mum used to say, professional dancer, that's a short-lived career, blah, 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 blah. So, I became an accountant.
Right. Interesting. Okay. So go back to that. What was it about dancing that, that lit up your world, that you love so much?
I think to some degree I was in the moment. I have a busy mind, and for me that was my way of being more grounded. I love the healthiness of it, and I don't know, I just, like I heard you say you've been to Pilates this morning. I love Pilates too. I love that, anything that, I don't know, that when I move my body.
And what do you feel when you move your body like that?
I feel alive, really alive, yeah.
There you go. You feel alive with that. And so, you might not become a professional dancer now, but it's about finding the things that make you feel alive, that make you feel grounded and in the moment. And, sharing those, because when you're in that place is when you can share so much from that place, because you're in that moment, you're grounded, you're alive. So find that within yourself now, and then you bring that to the world. Just going down, I'll go down a little bit further. So how do you like to dress?
Since I've lived in Noosa quite differently than I did when I was in an office, obviously. Actually, I'd be a little bit like you. I'd have my yoga pants on but put a nice top on to come on camera or something. These days more casual. I just because I live,
What in casual though? Because some people are casual, like thongs and an old t-shirt and short or whatever. What's casual mean to you? What's the style, would you say?
Yeah, so I'd say smart casual. Like I love jeans, but they've got to be comfortable. I'm into looking good. There's that part of me that's a bit of a poodle. To Sharon will know what I'm saying. There was another profile model we did ages ago, and I've got that. Like I care about what I look like, but I like to be comfortable, and I also love getting dressed up. Not that we go to many places, but like a Manatech, the dinner night where you can actually get all dressed up. I love that occasionally, but
yeah. Great. And Sharon says you always look impeccable. So you're always, you're looking all put together nicely. And so, showing that, because it's interesting. And like I said, we're all different. So I'm not, saying anything's right, but that you will attract people like that to you. And so you want to be showing that more. you want to be showing yourself more, you know, in photos and things like that, because that becomes part of your personal brand too. And, you know, I've seen a little bit of you, and I would definitely say impeccable is the right word. And so bring that across, because, you know, you'll start to attract people like that. If you were to receive an award for public praise, what would it be for?
Oh, gee. I don't know.
Sharon, do you want to add in there? And that's okay, because sometimes it's hard for us to see ourselves. So Sharon, who knows you quite well, inspiring and honest. Lovely. Inspiring others. She received a public award because she inspired others and was honest. Beautiful. Does that help you get a little bit of an idea of who you are, the warrior, the inspiration, that person that, you know, it shows others that it can be done, gives people hope, and is brave.
Yeah.
So now think about this. What is your purpose? So I help, or I mentor, or I guide, or I lead, whoever it is, to do what? So who do you feel that you're particularly called to do, to be here to help, or mentor, or lead, or guide?
I've never really got clear about my target market. I know for Sharon it's women. I know for you it's women. Mine is more both sexes. But yeah.
Is there a particular age? Is it like teenagers, or are you looking at a certain age group that will help you?
Yeah,
and it's fine to
I don't want to use the word baby boomer, but it does describe. So anyone, I don't know, 50 on probably. So there's some.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. And what do you want to help them do?
To have the life that they aspire to have. You know, it's in health or additional money or belief in themselves. Yeah.
Wonderful. Great. So would you say what word there speaks more to your heart? Help, mentor, guide, or lead?
Mentor, probably.
Great. There you go. So write that out. I mentor people, and you can play around with, if you want to, you know, mention, like work out a name, but you know, you will bring that in what you do with your branding, in your personal branding, to what did you say there? To
live the life that they aspire to live. Yeah.
Lovely. To live the life that they aspire to live in health, and yeah, those things. So write that out. So getting really clear on your purpose then, it helps draw the right people to you. And then you know, okay, so this is the way that I come across in everything that I do. And, you know, the people that I interact with. So has that helped you become a little bit clear on things?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Naomi. Yeah, very much.
So don't get and this is for everybody, don't just stop here. This is always an evolving thing, and always something that you're digging deeper, and we always grow. And so be looking at all of these questions, and write down those things, you know, those things that you said about yourself, because that will become part of your personal brand, but it may then become part of a professional brand as well. So a brand for your whole business. So if you, you know, if you wanted to either, you know, a lot of people brand themselves or you can decide and name a brand for your business as well. But bring that across all of these words, bring that into everything that you do and become very clear. So if you're going to be targeting that baby boomer market, become quite clear in the things that you say to that market and speak to that market. You're not necessarily, speak to the things that they need. What does that market need? And then, you really are speaking into that market. So does that help you understand where you go now with your posting, with how you present yourself, and the lifestyle that you're helping them aspire to? Because, you have created that beautiful lifestyle where you get to walk on beaches. So they're aspiring to that, they're probably wanting to get out of their jobs and have more freedom in the lifestyle. So that's who, you're connecting with and helping them with solve their problems. So think about what problems does that market have, those people have, and I want to help them solve their problems.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Did that help you get clear now?
It did. It's great. Thank you so much.
Awesome. So keep working on it. It's like I said, it's something that's always you work on, and you can, help get other people alongside of you to help you with that too. Okay. Thanks so much, Sue, for being the guinea pig and the teacher in the moment there. So we'll go to Leanne. And I'm sorry, we are going a little bit over time. Sharon, are we okay? Or?
Well, I'm wondering if we should finish there. I'm wondering if we should finish there because it is an hour and you're very generous with your time. And we can, two ideas is that we can do one more call before the end of the year and just say do 4 people. And I think people, and especially get some different styles and get some any men watching today. I think it would help people. I mean, both yours and my goal was to make sure people felt empowered to do this in their own team, for themselves and their team. And so I think if we had a few more examples, that would be really helpful. But I know your schedule is very busy.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll work something out. I would love to help. And, you can see the differences with different people. And I love that will highlight that we are all different. So, and you don't have to be a certain way because you're reaching your own target market. You're embodying who you really are. Yeah.
So I know, Leanne, apologies for this because I know you're very brave and we will continue to help you and you'll get the next cab off the rank. But, for those of you listening, Leanne is almost the polar opposite of Sue in that she's a really strong and committed and she's brave. She tries everything we put in front of her in her commitment to the Manatech business. She's a farm woman that's worked really hard on her own, so I think we can get really diverse examples here and assist all of us to be the best we can be in Manatech business. So Naomi, what's in your heart to leave people with today in regards to their success in partnering with Manatech for their goals?
It always comes back to this, like, just take time, listen to your heart, listen to what it's calling you to do. People are waiting for you to step up and to bring who you are to the world because they're crying out for what we have. They're crying out for purpose, for freedom, for lifestyle, for health. And so it's time, guys. It's time as a Manatech community that we rise collectively, that we all step into our purpose and who we're here to serve, and stop hiding behind the shadows. And it's time to really step up and shine.
Naomi, God bless you. Thank you so very much. Ladies and gentlemen, as you heard, it's Dr. Steve Nugent next week on Nutriveris. And thank you for being here. We had great turnout, which is very indicative of the quality of Naomi's work. And Naomi, thank you very much and really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thanks, Sharon. Thanks, everyone.
Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you next week.